We have some extreme heat to talk about this week. The combination of temperatures near 100 plus very high humidity that we will detail in a moment means it will feel like 105 to 115 Monday through Wednesday of this week. So let's talk about how it can be safe, what we need to plan for, what it's going to feel like, and then how it's going to end up for the end of the week into the weekend when it turns a little cooler and stormier. I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. Anytime you need us, we're at cwg.live. And I'll also be on WAMU tomorrow morning and on the blog. I'll have an update for not only tonight's forecast, you'll see my update, but tomorrow morning as well at cwg.live. Indeed, vegan roundtable on X, lots of hot emoji. I completely agree with you. Hello, Jenig and Leonard. And Jennifer and Ekano, thank you so much for joining in on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X. We're on all four of those social media channels and live on the blog tonight. So again, hot tomorrow really gets going. Just a mere heat advisory today, but an extreme heat warning tomorrow for temperatures feeling like near 110 when you combine the air temperature near 100 with the high humidity. Our sweat cannot evaporate and cool us naturally tomorrow, so the moisture in the air is going to coat us, and so heat stress becomes a little more possible with it feeling like near 110 degrees. We just can't naturally cool ourselves. Favine, hello, and Catherine, hello. Good to see you. And Celsi, yes, the Odenton tornado is confirmed. David, good evening. And that, sorry, Saucy, the report is out at the NWS Baltimore office for that past tornado. And Charlene, hello. And Dave, and David, and Amy. The main hours of concern for the extreme heat warning is 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I hope that helps Amy. And Celsi, yep, good to see you on X as well. Let's talk about heat safety. You need to think about a plan for just limiting your outdoor activities overall, your outdoor exposure in the next coming days, Monday through Wednesday, with heat index values 105 to 110. So I know some of you have to work outside. You have indoor things to consider, pets to consider, neighbors who might not have access to air conditioning. There will be cooling centers open in many locations. Think about your vehicles as well. So stay hydrated, wear light colored clothing and lightweight clothing as best possible also. Jethro, Noia, good to see you. Blamey, and we've got Mark CB, you're most welcome. And David asks about storms potentially on Friday. So let's look at that now. Precipitation overall this week, limited, but we even have of the few little bits and pieces of storms that might develop Tuesday onward this week. One or two strong storms can't be ruled out. And more widespread thunderstorms develop by end of the week into the weekend, we believe, as this hot, high pressure dome over us starts eroding and pulling away from the area. Once we get to its edge, to its periphery, storms have a better chance of developing. And we could see good rainfall amounts still in the region. Drought is no longer a concern. We're out of a drought watch. And here's what David is most interested in from Instagram. By kind of Friday into the weekend, we have an elevated chance of some strong to severe storms. Now, there's time for things to change. The ingredients, while there, still have to come together. It's going to be something we need to watch as we get closer to Friday into the weekend with higher forecast confidence. So we just have to see if this comes together like baking a cake, right? You've heard the analogy perhaps. All the ingredients are here to bake a cake of severe weather, but will all of it be baked and put together properly so it turns into a cake of maybe some severe thunderstorms? We will see. So please stay tuned to cwg.live as we get toward the middle and end of the week as storms become a little more numerous, a little more widespread, and potentially intense as well. All right, dew points this week are in focus. The air temperatures alone are forecast to be near 100, perhaps as high as 105 this week, Monday through Wednesday. And then when you combine the oppressive humidity, which is 70 to maybe above 75 at times, muggy, gross, sultry, oppressive, unbearable, this high oppressive humidity is what makes this heat wave dangerous in this instance. I know we have skeptics out there who have, of course, can validly say we've been 100 degrees before. Why are we issuing extreme heat warnings? But that's because when the dew points are this high, the skin, right, which naturally cools itself through evaporating its own sweat, that mechanism, it just shuts down. So heat builds up in your body, and sometimes without even knowing it, you can suffer from heat exhaustion, heat stroke. Please just be cautious this week. Limit your outdoor time, particularly between 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. Those are the main hours of concern. If you really need to focus on the exact hours of concern, it's 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. for an extreme heat warning Monday, extreme heat watch for Tuesday, with the expectation, but not high confidence just yet, that we do still see Tuesday and perhaps Wednesday heat index values 110, dangerous 115-degree levels. So we'll watch that this week, and clouds are not going to give us much shade. Here's an animation over the next several days. Sun is the rule, maybe a little bit of haze from high altitude wildfire smoke, but overall bright skies, very intense sun. This is the strongest sun of the year, so that is going to add to our heat concerns as well. But as rain chances increase toward the end of the week and the weekend, we do see more cloud cover coming along. And again, precipitation limited as we start the week, but thunderstorm chances go up, temperatures come down, sunshine levels go down as well. So that's something that we kind of want to watch in the mixture as we head through the work week. Things do change a little bit, and rainfall amounts again are pretty healthy for the next 7 days. An inch can't be ruled out with hit or miss thunderstorms, some of which, especially near the end of the week and the weekend, could turn strong to severe. Not guaranteed, but something to keep an eye on. The signal is there, the ingredients are there. No need to plan just yet, but just keep an eye on things with us at cwg.live as we go toward the end of this week. All right, so let's just remind you, heat is on tap for tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You thought it was hot today. Well, the extreme heat warning, it takes effect tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So let's check questions and comments on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Thanks for joining me, and I'm also live at cwg.live as well. GT Brewing, Blamey, thanks for joining. Let's see, we've got Mark, you're most welcome, and David, and Gwen, and Mark, Klons, KO, and JB, and MV Dale. Thanks so much for tuning in on Instagram. And Dauntless asks how the tropics are doing, so let's check that really quick. Thanks for tuning in from Instagram, Dauntless. We've got NHC monitoring one disturbance in the Central Atlantic, moving out to sea, even if it does develop by Tuesday. That's kind of the window between now and Tuesday before the development environment becomes unfavorable. So we'll see if a subtropical or tropical system does get named. So far, not even a tropical depression, just something that has an area of disturbance that has a moderate chance of developing over the next 48 hours or so. If it does develop winds that are sustained into tropical storm force, which is 39 miles per hour or greater, it would be the first named storm of the season. It would be Andrea. And just keep in mind, hurricane season runs through November 30th, and we are expecting all forecasts leading us to believe that we are going to see an above average hurricane season with a greater number of named storms than usual. And here's some allergy sufferer information. My fellow allergy sufferers, moderate pollen is in the air. Mold spores, mold and mildew spores are the main ingredient. I updated that yesterday at cwg.live as well. Bullock, Clee, thanks for joining in. Rai P, Lucy. And we've got R. Torres and MV. Very good to see all of you on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Amy, sky very pink from some high altitude wildfire smoke into the mix, but luckily not compromising our surface air quality where we're breathing. And Charlene, thank you very much for tuning in and replying to others. That's very helpful. And Scott, any projections for July 4th weekend? As we get closer, let's show you how things are looking for next week. The signals are still there, and I don't see any major reason for this to disappear by July 4th, but temperatures are leaning above average, and precipitation is leaning above average as well. And you may have seen our summer outlook from the Capital Weather Gang, and we are leaning for a hot, humid summer overall. So honestly, it would be more of a surprise if we do have a dry warmth without storms on July 4th and that weekend. I'm honestly leaning a little wet, pretty humid, and pretty warm overall. But stay tuned to cwg.live as we get closer. Heat safety concerns Monday through Wednesday this week. Heat index values of 105 to 115. What is the heat index? That is the combination of the air temperature, near 100 for the next 3 days. So alone, already hot. You combine that with the high humidity, and that's dew points in the 70 to 75, maybe higher range. That's at the bottom of our scale, muggy, sultry, gross, unbearable. So when you take the air temperature with the high humidity, it becomes dangerous. Oppressive heat index values are important to calculate. If they're up near 110, 115, it becomes dangerous, where our bodies can't get heat to escape from it. It builds up in our bodies, sweat doesn't evaporate. That's our natural cooling mechanism, and that is going to be shut down if you're outdoors for too long and doing too much of a strenuous activity, especially between the hours of 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's the main concern. That's the extreme heat warning for tomorrow for the hours of 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and an extreme heat watch for Tuesday as well. So it continues tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Real heat, extreme heat. So please be safe. Check on your neighbors. Make sure you help people find cooling centers that might need one if they don't have access to air conditioning. Your pets, please be mindful. Seek shade. Wear light colored clothing, lightweight clothing. Hydrate a lot. Be mindful of electrolytes as well, especially if you're working outdoors in the coming days. Take lots of breaks, okay? And just be mindful to do your most strenuous activity before 11 a.m. or after 9 p.m. All right, let's see. We've got Liz, you're most welcome. You stay hydrated as well. And let's see. The record maximum at DCA Netco, I want to say, is 109 now, I believe, for just the air temperature alone. There's been a new enough record. I can't be positive of that, but it's way up there. We're not going to hit that luckily this week. Let's see. We've got Donna. You are going to be warm and stormy at times. Yes, indeed. And Charlene, the winds were a little brutal and blew over some of your crops. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. Yes. Natalie, thanks for tuning in. This is available sometimes at cwg.live. And then let's see, next Sunday could be a little bit stormy and warm. Paul, please stay tuned to cwg.com, cwg.live as we get closer. All right, I think I've caught up on most questions and comments. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Please let me know if I've missed anything. Focusing on all four of our social media channels, General, Caitlin, and Plenty, and Keylime, and KN, and Fleischer. Good to see you on Instagram as well. All right. Best day GBC for the Delaware beaches. I would try and go tomorrow. That is my recommendation before storm chances increase as we head through this week. So let's review that. That comes with part of the cloud cover that's limited the early part of this week. Limited cloud cover means limited storm chances. They kind of go together for the early part of this week. One or two strong storms can't be ruled out as early as tomorrow, but very limited suppressed rain activity. Chances are very low for maybe just a stray storm tomorrow, but another little increment higher, another notch higher in storm chances for Wednesday. And then by the end of the week, we could see strong storm chances be a little more numerous, a little more widespread by Friday into the weekend. So we're going to have to watch the storm chances over the coming days because I think that's something that's going to be part of this heat dome as it starts breaking down. This high pressure breaks down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. It's not going to give up the ghost very easily. Like this, being at the periphery, the edge of a dome of high pressure, this hot, this humid, it offers a lot of fuel and instability in the atmosphere. So we'll see if these ingredients come together to form a lot of widespread storms. But the strong storm potential is there, especially by the end of the week, end of the weekend. And rain amounts look healthy. Drought concerns are no more, but we do have plenty of rain over the next 7 days. Marmar, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. And Alexander, yes, kind of gross levels of humidity. And temperatures alone near 100 over the next 3 days, Monday through Wednesday. Dew points 70 to 75 easily, maybe a little higher. That's where the concern comes in when you combine the air temperatures near 100 with the dew points this high, the very high humidity. It's going to feel like 105, if not 115, up to 115. And that's why we're just really trying to make it hit it home for you that we need to be mindful and practice good heat safety Monday through Wednesday of this week. Anywhere it's concerned, right? Your pets, indoors, temperatures for yourself, for others, make sure they have access to air conditioning. Wear lightweight clothing, light colored clothing, hydrate mindfully. Make sure you monitor your electrolyte level a little bit too if you're outdoors for a very long time. Think about heat stroke versus heat exhaustion. It's possible if you are outdoors doing strenuous activity for too long the next 3 days, An extreme heat warning is in effect tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and expected to be the same for Tuesday and Wednesday. The heat watch and extreme heat watch has also been hoisted for Tuesday as well. And we generally expect for Wednesday, with the humidity really not giving up the ghost and staying pretty darn high through Wednesday, in combination with high temperatures alone, not even considering the humidity. The high temperatures on the thermometer alone near 100, maybe as high as 105. So that right there, without even factoring the humidity, is going to be a concern. That is a problem in and of itself. But high humidity just it really prevents our sweat from evaporating from our skin, which is the natural mechanism for cooling ourselves. And so when heat builds up in the body, that increases the chances for heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So please keep that in mind. Paul, you're most welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in on Facebook. I'm on the air another 4 minutes or so. Let me know, and everyone on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and at cwg.live if you're tuning in there. If you have any other further questions for me as we're going through the hot start into the early and middle part of the week, extreme heat warning in effect for tomorrow, heat watch for Tuesday, and probably for Wednesday as well. Will, BH, thanks for tuning in. Steve, Diana, Tiger, and Weather Dude played some golf. It was definitely uncomfortable, and the heat is just getting going in this high pressure heat dome that is building in to the region through Wednesday. Let's see, Pewee fan. I hope the Australians that are coming in this weekend for you should, if they're from kind of middle and northern Australia, closer to the equator, they should be okay with temperatures hopefully subsiding 95 and lower by the time we get into this weekend. But the humidity will still be a concern with high humidity in the 70 to 75 degree range, if not a little higher. Please be careful, everyone, with hydrating mindfully this week. Wear lightweight, light colored clothing if at all possible. Limit outdoor time during the extreme heat warning hours from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. as well. Saucy, I hope too we see no more strong winds. Winds are we're breezy this week, but I don't think too windy. So just be more mindful of the high temperatures and near and above 100, high humidity, combining that with the heat safety concerns we have this week. Wherever you are, just limit your time outdoors is the bottom line. And heat stroke and heat exhaustion are in the picture this week if we are not too careful, because heat is going to build up in our bodies even without us being too aware of it when we have oppressive humidity preventing our sweat from evaporating from our skin. That mechanism cools us, and under it's going to be prevented this week from being effective. So dew points again very high this week. Clouds are limited at the beginning of this week, going hand in hand with low rain chances. So shade from clouds is not going to help us. Precipitation very sparse at the beginning of the week. Limited rain chances. The atmosphere is very hot, very humid. So there are bits of ingredients increasing by the end of the week and of the weekend, especially for strong to severe storms. We'll need to keep an eye on this for you. It will have to be a little bit of a day by day observation for us to see if ingredients come together to really meld into severe storms. But chances are there for more numerous and more intense storms by the end of this week. One source from a computer learning center has spit out some indication that we have a signal there for strong severe storms by Friday, if not into the weekend as well. And rainfall amounts remain healthy in the region. I have no drought concerns. The drought watch is long gone. We have no more drought in the region really to speak of, so we are in good shape rain-wise as well. And before I go, let me show you the medium term outlook into next work week as we get closer to July 4th. Temperatures are leaning above average still, and you can expect most of this summer to lean above average. Precipitation is also leaning above average as well. And quick check for my fellow allergy sufferers, mold and mildew spores are the main concern that we're watching, and I try and update that every weekend as I did yesterday at cwg.live. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks so much for joining for our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. We're going over everything we've talked about so far, and the tropics are fairly quiet. Just one disturbance out there that could perhaps develop into Andrea by Tuesday. So it will be stay and be out to sea for the entire week. But overall, the hurricane season, which runs through November 30th, is expected to run above average. All right, heat safety is our main concern this week. Before I go off the air, let me check questions and comments on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. I'm Cameron Walker. I'll be on WAMU tomorrow morning. The forecast I refreshed this evening at cwg.live. I'll refresh that again for tomorrow morning when you wake up. But heat index values of 105 to 115, that's what it's going to feel like to our body because our sweat will not be able to evaporate and cool us naturally It's going to be a heat building up in our body situation from Monday through Wednesday, an extreme heat warning tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So please be mindful, practice your heat safety, bottom line, limit your time outdoors, hydrate as much as you can. Pewy fan, you're most welcome. And Beth and KS and Gerard and Alexandra, thanks so much for tuning in. And Rachel, Saturday is part of this high pressure breaking down. So we do have a potentially stormy afternoon and evenings coming up at the end of the week into the weekend, with storms more likely and more numerous and maybe more intense at the end of the week and of the weekend, including maybe your plans on Saturday. Just keep in the back of your mind maybe a plan B. One word, yuck, H squared. I totally agree with you. That is high heat, high humidity. It is definitely yuck. Amy, I appreciate you as well. And M11, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. And Catherine, you're most welcome. And April and Rebecca and David and Catherine, cooler out in the mountains. Yes, get out in the Alleghenies if you can. It'll still be pretty humid out there, but a little cooler. David, no flash drought concerns just yet. The latest outlooks are good on drought, so I don't want anyone worried about drought. Let's worry about heat safety this week with heat index values near 105 up to 115. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke is very much a concern Monday through Wednesday of this week. Air temperatures before humidity are near 100, maybe up to 105, and then feeling like 115, combining in this very high humidity, 70 to maybe over 75 degrees, very oppressive and sultry. So please be careful. And Gary, I agree with you. As the glasses wear air conditioning and going out into the humidity, the fog of the glasses is real. It's a problem. Rachel, I don't think a major problem for flights as it stands now. There could be a few minutes added here and there, maybe slight delays, but nothing major. M1, where sunblock indeed during the midday hours is best possible. Strongest sun of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere. And appreciate you as well, Amy and KAH and Kristen as seen. All right, that is beyond my time. I'm sorry I went over. I'll see you next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat, a little after 8:30 again next week. I'm Kendall Walker signing off. Anytime you need us, we're at cwg.live. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay cool.